deepest secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from defenders to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a lot threat. You keep the medals cause the right one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface. Still they try to drag my name in dirt, they try to bring me down. See me winning, you ain't like me then.
Oh, what's good, my nephews and nieces? This is your favorite old head, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you, all right? Now listen, we're actually going to be wrapping up part 4 of the breakdown, the extensive breakdown off my 30-minute video, right? And breaking it up in bits and pieces for y'all. And we're wrapping it up and we're finishing it with a bow tie with shooting, okay? So we're going to hop into shooting today. I'm going to make this short and sweet, so let's hop right into it. So working with the theme that 2K has talked about by being authentic with authentic shooting, we all knew how 2K22 was so easy to shoot. And of course, the devs themselves, they recognized that and they said, you know what? It's time to go ahead and completely revamp and change this model. So last year in NBA 2K22, success from the outside was heavily weighed towards coverage, right? If you could get an open look, you could balance out your poor ratings in inaccurate timing, right? So we all know that, right? There was people that was getting full whites, that were getting bounce backs, but because they were wide open, the shot went in. Well, this year, again, being more authentic, that has completely changed, okay? So the first major change is actually major, all right? And that is going to be the changing of signature jump shots, right? So beforehand, the signature jump shots, more or less, was like an aesthetic, right? That was it. There was nothing else really to it. You just chose your base based upon the speed, and you kind of worked that direction. Well, now, as you see right here, it's going to be broken down in some categories: shot speed, release height, defense immunity, and timing impact, right? So your shot speed is how quickly the shot gets to its ideal release point. Your release height, how high the shot is released. Defense immunity, how effective the shot is against defensive contests. And of course, timing impact. Adjust shot windows to reward good timing at the cost of an increased penalty for bad timing. Like, just think about it. As you see in this chart right here, they're basically like Steph Curry at the top. As you see, the rate requirement, right? So you have to have a height rate, and your three-point shot has to dictate that. So again, and you see the allowed size, it says smalls only, right? Release height is a B, release speed's a C, timing impact is an A+. So now when you're working and building your actual jump shot together, all these right here are going to play in a factor. So it's going to be really unique and pretty dope because, again, this just opens it up. You're probably going to see tons and tons and tons of different jump shots. So no more just like half the community using jump shot 3, the other half using set shot 5. A lot of people are literally going to find crazy combinations, and they're going to feel like, hey, it works best for me. This is what I want. Way I play, right? This is what I want. A guard might get more contests than another guard, right? A guard might get more people come like the crab more, so don't get those contests, right? Then you might have players that literally love shooting contested shots, so they want to make sure that they get an A+ when it comes to timing impact because they don't really shoot that well. So that's another thing to think about. They don't have sniper no more, but if you have a jump shot that has an A+ timing impact, then guess what? Timing is not going to be as bad. Maybe more slightly early and slightly lates will go in. So you got to keep that in consideration. It's just not going to be cut and paste. I love the direction that we're going with this, okay? And another huge development, because I feel like a lot of people sleep on this. Going back again to being authentic, right? They have doubled the amount of shot animations to choose from. So think about that. A lot of people think like double and they don't see the figure. Remember, there was like, what, 200, 300 jump shots? Now they double that. So you talk about what, 600, 700 jump shot animations and everything in combinations to think about. So as you remember on TikTok from NBA 2K, they were showing Devin Booker in the mocap suit and shooting around. And as you can see here, he is going crazy, right? To see Devin Booker's actual real jump shot now. And then it says right here that, you know, and there's much more accurate to each player's real life jumpers. So not only do you get like Devin Booker and his mocap, but maybe there was a lot of other players that came there just on their own time or whatever it might be. Or maybe somebody who knows what it is in these mocaps. But regardless, to have more realistic jump shots, to really look at somebody like, yo, that really is Blaze jump shot. I think that's going to be pretty dope and pretty big. And then, of course, it says, for my players, shot animations will be gated by shooting we're graded by shooting ratings. So you'll have to play around with each of the options to figure out what works best for your skill set and play style. So again, we talked about that. Just because one jump shot works for one person, it might not work for the other person because of their play styles. And again, just because this jump shot works good with the front contest doesn't mean it's going to work good for you if you're open a lot. This is what really is going to set this apart, and I'm very excited about it. Also, there's going to be another change for all my nephews and nieces that love the shot meter, okay? So this year, they're going to have 5 new shot meters to choose from with 15 more that can be unlocked through seasons over the coming year. So I know that a lot of people love 2K17, 2K18's jump shot style, 19 was dope, 20, all these different years. You're going to get those off rip, as you can see here in these video clips that we have with the different shot meters that you have with James Harden. But I think that's going to be really dope. It says that some big, some small, some above the head, some to the side, some below the shooter. Each meter completely fills to the end, which is your ideal release point, then empties on the late side, a la 2K17, 2K20. So I think that's going to be pretty dope. Definitely look forward to seeing some of these individuals like y'all that love the meter. I don't rock with the meter because you do get a boost by not having the meter, but I know a lot of people still utilize that meter. So I know that y'all be excited to have these. And I'm also just curious to see what meters they have coming out during the seasons, because if they're really lit just for some content or just for some visuals, maybe I have it on too. Because, you know, again, things that are different and new, people get excited about, and I'm just like everybody else. If it's dope, I want to see it too. I might rock with it for a few games or maybe for a week or two. And also, I think this is going to be pretty dope, right? This is going to be the shot feedback. So as you see, they did make a subtle change to shot feedback from works from last year. You will use shot arcs to help indicate whether your shot is high arc, late, which is a flat arc, or on time, which is ideal arc. So by paying attention, you can easily tell right away if your release is off. Now, I think that that's something that a lot of people just overlooked, because the next part says that also with shot feedback enabled, we're delaying the timing coverage overlay for green release animations from coming up until the ball hits the basket, which I think is pretty dope. So everybody else is not going to know the ball's going in until it gets close to the basket and you'll see the green release. But as the shooter, if you pay attention to your high arc, flat arc, or ideal arc, theoretically, you should know if your shot's going in. So there is a feedback to you personally that you will see the ideal arc, you know that's going in, but even though everybody else will see the green release late. I think that's what it's meaning. It sounds like that's what it's meaning, so don't panic. I know some people on Twitter were like, hey man, can I just know that's going in and everybody else doesn't know? I think personally, you shouldn't know, because in real life, no one really knows where their shot goes in. It can look perfect and it still goes off. Everybody that plays basketball knows that. You really do not know if a shot's going in when you're shooting a three or you're shooting a midi. You know it goes in when it goes in, right? So again, just keep that in mind. And then next, we're going to be looking at the shooting badges. As you can tell, they added a ton of new badges. You have Agent 3, which is the ability to hit difficult shots off dribble, which obviously is going to play circus threes. You got Midi Magician, which improves the ability to knock down mid-range jumpers off the bounce or out of the post like MJ. This right here is going to be your difficult shots also. Keep that in mind. That's going to be tied into that. Amped, which reduces the shooting attribute penalties when fatigued and move more excessively prior to shooting. So obviously that is going to be volume shooter. Then you have a really dope one, which is Claymore, which increases a spot-up shooter's ability to knock down catch and shoot jumpers. The longer you remain stationary prior to shooting, you cannot have the ball in your hand when you're doing that. This has to be a spot-up. You have the Comeback Kid, which is obviously replacement of clutch shooter. Then you have Hand Down, Man Down. That's a shout-out to Mark Jackson. Makes an outside shooter even deadlier if the opponent fails to put their hands up in the face. You have Space Creator, which used to be a playmaking badge, which is now going to be becoming a shooting badge, which I think is going to be pretty dope. A lot of people love this. Limitless range is coming back. It's coming back like the old Limitless range. It's not going to be a spot-up Limitless range, so that's going to be dope. And then, of course, we see Chef, Hot Zone Hunter, Lucky 7, Mismatch Expert. Of course, that was moved over to playmaking. You have Set Shooter, Sniper, and Limitless Spot-up. They're all gone now. So, again, I think that these are some good adjustments. I talked about that on the first day. Mike Wang decided, listen, badges that were overpowered, they nerfed. Badges that were too underutilized, they either buffed it or they took them out. And again, so if they took them out, they just felt like they just wasn't that important anymore. And that's why I think that, again, really, really good decision making and changes when it comes to the shooting badges. And last but not least, let's just go over some more tweets from my man Mike Wang. We have one here. It says, do you need the ball in your hand for Claymore to work? He said, no. Claymore works by not having the ball if the floor spacing, sharp spotting up for the 3. So again, that is self-explanatory. I said that already, but I just wanted to make sure that was clarified. Another one says here, at Beluga, for years 2K, I don't know if I missed it, but if there's still shot fatigue, so the lower the stamina, the slower your shot is. Also, what about meter versus no meter? You gave us different meters, but if that no shot meter still exists, won't use it because of the boost. Yes, there's still a shot fatigue, which of course, I think that's pretty dope. Your shot ratings get hit with the lower your energy stamina meter gets. And then it says no meter option will give you slightly larger shot windows and make it easier to green if you have shot well. So again, that's pretty dope. You do get a slight shot boost for not having your meters, and I spoke about that already. And then another one here says, Beluga, will we still be able to consistently shoot with a 70 or under 3 ball? And Mike said it's hard to answer. There are a lot of factors, but if you're really good at timing your shot, are open, and have the right badges, you can be serviceable, but you won't be raining like last year. I think that we need to make sure, listen, if you have a difficult time shooting, don't try to come in here with that 2K22 mindset with a 73 ball. Just go ahead. Serviceable should make the average player nervous. Just make sure you get yourself a decent 3 ball, all right? And then we have another one here. What about custom jumpers? Do they have requirements or just the signature jumpers? The custom shot you create will generate attributes and have a shot rating requirement based on the components you use to build the shot. So when we showed that graph earlier, basically, if you take the release of Steph Curry and the base of this or whatever, that all factors into a set rating. And again, it is going to be required based upon your position too. So keep that in mind. And then last but not least, it says, will both your mid-range and 3-point shot need to be a 96 to unlock Steph or Kyrie's shot, or just one of them? And he said either one. Don't need both. So again, keep that in mind. You don't need to have both a 96 mid-range and 3 ball to unlock some of these jump shots. When it says whatever that rating is that you have to unlock it, you have to just have either or. So that's pretty dope. But there you have it, my nephews and nieces. This is the shooting badges part of this breakdown. This is the last one wrapped up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have not seen part 1, 2, and 3, make sure you check it out. But other than that, this is your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon with the banger. When I say we back soon with the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.